Hello, biology students. Today's date is April 9th, 2020. This would be the video for day 9 of our AMI. Yesterday, I covered 2 levels of ecology, which was the organism and then the population. Today's video will cover the last 3, starting off with the biological community. Now, when you hear the word community, you typically think about people, but in biology terms, a community is the combination of all the different populations you find in an area. If you go outside, you would see, well, a whole thriving community, hopefully, of different organisms, of different populations. So, for example, you could go outside my house and you would see different types of trees. You have populations of one type of oak, but then you have different species of oaks. So if you look at all the populations of the oaks and then the maple trees and the cedar trees, and then you throw in all of the other types of plants like the grasses, the weeds, the bushes, the flowers, but then you throw in the populations of squirrels and rabbits and birds and insects. All of a sudden you have this really, really large collection of different populations of organisms, and we call that a community. Now, those populations may or may not compete for the same resources. So for example, if you look at a tree is going to compete for space, but it may not necessarily compete for something like the organisms that it needs to help it reproduce. So not all populations compete for the same resources. Next, you have the ecosystem. And the ecosystem is what I covered in one of my prior videos. An ecosystem is all of the living and non-living things in that area. On my hike, you saw the trees, you saw the grasses, but you also saw rocks and you saw water, but also the temperature of the air at the time, the amount of sunlight that was available. All of those things belong to an ecosystem. It is all of the living things, which would be the community, but also the non-living things, the biotic and abiotic factors. The thing about an ecosystem is that your boundaries can be flexible. If you look at this picture of the forest next to some type of waterway, well, there are organisms that can go from the water to the forest and then back again. And you would think that this shoreline here is the boundary, but does that boundary belong to the body of water or does it belong to the forest next to it? Boundaries can be flexible. Other examples of ecosystems are coral reefs, lakes, streams, forests, even the inside of your body can be an ecosystem. You house trillions of bacteria inside your gut. So you are, in fact, an ecosystem to them. The last thing I want to cover is a biome. In fact, no, we're just going to stop there. We'll stop there. So that's it for today. You'll have an assignment at the end. It will be on the same Google Doc. Make sure you complete all the questions and then turn in the assignment. That is going to be it for today. Hope you guys are doing well. I will talk to you later.